All right, today we're going to tear apart a pretty high energy and high stakes job opportunity. It's the Taxx Street Team agent role from LegacyBridge Financial Group. We're going to use their own recruiting info to break down exactly what this deal is all about.
Right off the bat, the company hits you with this classic sales line. But look, this is way more than just a question. It's a test. It's their way of saying, hey, we're looking for absolute top-tier salespeople, the kind who really thrive under pressure. This one line, it really sets the tone for everything else we're about to see.
So to really get what this is all about, from the initial pitch all the way to your paycheck, we're going to look at the job description, how the pay is structured, and what the career path looks like. And again, this is all coming directly from the company's own materials.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break it all down. We've got 5 parts. First, we'll look at the opportunity itself. Then, who they're looking for, the ideal candidate. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of the money, then the logistics of getting paid, and finally, what the long-term path could look like.
So let's kick things off with Section 1, the opportunity. This is really LegacyBridge's big-picture sales pitch for the role and what they're all about. Their tagline is, protect what matters, build what's next. It's a pretty ambitious phrase, and you can tell it's aimed at both their clients and their agents. The idea is they're promising security and growth for everybody.
Now, this is a really crucial point to understand about the structure. It's a 100-day contract, specifically for tax season. And this is not a desk job. It is all about being out in the community, hitting the pavement, networking at places like local businesses, churches, and even daycares to bring in new clients.
Okay, so if that's the job, what kind of person are they actually looking for? Let's dive into their profile of the ideal candidate. And you'll notice right away, the focus here isn't on years of experience, it's all about personality. Sharp, personable, persuasive, energetic, ambitious. I mean, they're clearly hunting for that classic go-getter salesperson.
And the hard requirements? They totally back this up. Being well-spoken and well-dressed, that's all about representing the brand when you're out there. The vehicle is mandatory, which just confirms this is a field job through and through. And really, the whole thing hangs on you being a self-starter who can get out there and talk to people on your own.
All right, let's get to the part I'm sure you've been waiting for. Let's talk about the money. Because for a role that's commission only, you absolutely have to understand how you can earn.
Everything, and I mean everything, starts with this number, $550. This is what they say is the average tax return amount for a client, and it's the foundation for every single commission calculation.
So the commission is tiered, kind of like a ladder. You start out at a 35% cut. Then, for every 20 returns you bring in, your commission rate jumps up by 5%. The highest you can go is 40%. It's pretty simple, really. The more you produce, the bigger your slice of the pie gets. And here is where they really start to paint a picture. They lay out these potential scenarios. You hit 100 returns, you can make over $19,000. If you can double that to 200 returns, now you're looking at $44,000. But if you build a team, they project your earnings could be $50,000, $60,000, or even more. And remember, that's all within that 100-day tax season.
Yeah, that team leader part is a huge piece of the puzzle here. If you recruit and manage other agents, you earn an extra 5% override on every single return they complete. It's a really powerful incentive to not just be a great seller, but to be a great builder too.
But wait, there's more. On top of the commissions, you've got bonuses. For every qualified referral you bring in from an organization, say a local business or a church, you get an extra $100. They also list some other pretty cool perks, like being able to give away free vacation certificates to your clients, which is a fantastic marketing tool, right? And LegacyBridge makes a big point to say that both these vacation giveaways and those $100 referral bonuses are totally unlimited.
So, you see the potential. But what about the actual logistics? How does the money you earn get into your bank account? Let's talk about that.
Okay, this is a super important distinction to make. Agents are independent contractors. You are not an employee. That means you are responsible for all of your own expenses. We're talking gas for your car, any marketing stuff you want to print, everything. And you have to handle your own taxes. You're basically running a business of one.
The pay schedule is tied directly to when your client's refund gets funded. So if a client gets a quick refund, you could get paid daily. The standard, most common cycle is weekly. But for those more complicated returns that take longer, it might be biweekly.
And finally, what happens when those 100 days are up? Is that it? Well, LegacyBridge also maps out a potential long-term career path for agents who really crush it.
They present a pretty clear ladder for advancement.
You can move up from being an agent to a team leader, then to this role they call a legacy and wealth synergist, which seems to be a year-round position. And then the top of the ladder is becoming a location owner, where you're actually running your own branch.
And each step up that ladder is designed to open up new ways to make money. It's about moving from that seasonal hustle to a stable year-round income, getting those residual overrides from your team's work, and even getting a piece of the profits if you run your own branch. So that's the whole deal, deconstructed. And when you boil it all down, it really comes back to this one fundamental question, right? Is a job based purely on your performance the ultimate opportunity, the chance to write your own paycheck? Or is it the ultimate risk, where a slow start could mean no income at all? The answer, of course, is going to be completely different for every person who decides to take that chance.